Peace be upon you, my dear friends, and may the endless mercy and provision of the Most High fill your homes and your hearts today. You have been chasing the wrong kind of wealth your entire life. You have been tying your peace of mind to numbers on a screen, to the approval of an employer, to the fragile promises of an economy that changes with the wind. But what if the ultimate security you are desperately looking for was never meant to be found in a bank vault? What if the guarantee against poverty was handed down from the heavens over 1400 years ago, not as a bag of gold, but as a sequence of words? Before we step into the dusty, quiet streets of ancient Medina to witness a moment that will completely shatter your definition of wealth, I invite you to join our growing family. If you seek to anchor your heart in timeless truths, please subscribe to our channel. Your presence here is not a coincidence. It is an invitation to discover the peace you have been searching for. Let us travel back in time. The year is 32 after the migration of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. We are in the radiant city of Medina. The blistering afternoon sun bakes the clay walls of the houses, and the hot desert wind carries the scent of dry earth and sweet dates. Inside a small, dimly lit room, the shadows are long. The air is heavy, thick with the silence that only accompanies the final moments of a human life. On a thin, woven mattress, made of rough palm leaves, lies an old man. His frame is fragile, his breathing is shallow, and his skin is pale. This is Abdullah ibn Masud. May Allah be pleased with him. He was the 6th person on the entire earth to embrace Islam. He walked with the final messenger. He memorized the words of the heavens as they were revealed, and he fought when the world was against them. Now, his earthly journey is coming to an end. The heavy wooden door of the small house creaks open. The sunlight temporarily blinds the room. A tall, dignified man enters, bringing with him the weight of the entire Islamic empire. It is Uthman ibn Affan. May Allah be pleased with him, the Caliph, the leader of the Muslim world. He holds the keys to vast treasuries, stretching from the sands of Egypt to the mountains of Persia. He sits gently beside the dying companion. Uthman looks at the fragile state of his dear friend. He leans in and asks softly, "What is it that you complain of?" The old man, barely able to raise his voice above a whisper, replies, "My sins." Uthman, feeling the deep ache of witnessing a legend fade, asks again, "What is it that you desire?" Abdullah ibn Masud closes his eyes. A profound calm washes over his wrinkled face as he answers, "The mercy of my Lord." But Uthman is a leader. He is a provider for his people. He looks around the sparse, humble room. There is no luxury here. There is no hoarded wealth. He knows Abdullah ibn Masud is leaving behind daughters, young women who will need support, food, and security in a harsh world. So Uthman offers what any powerful leader would offer. He says, "Let me restore your stipend from the state treasury. Let me order wealth for you and your daughters, so they are not left destitute." And this is where the story shifts. This is the moment that defines true wealth. Abdullah ibn Masud opens his eyes. He looks at the most powerful man in the world, a man offering him endless financial security, and he refuses. He says, "I have no need for it." Uthman insists, gently reminding him, "It will be for your daughters after you are gone." Abdullah ibn Masud smiles. It is a smile of terrifying certainty, a smile of someone who sees something the rest of the world is entirely blind to. He says, "Do you fear poverty for my daughters? I do not fear poverty for them, because I have commanded them to read Surah Al-Waqiah every single night. For I heard the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, say, whoever recites Surah Al-Waqiah every night will never be afflicted by poverty. Think about the sheer magnitude of this scene. A dying man is offered the state treasury. He rejects it. He does not leave his children a trust fund, a piece of land, or a chest of gold. He leaves them a habit. He leaves them a nightly appointment with a chapter of the Holy Quran, because he understood a reality that we have tragically forgotten. He understood the manifestation of Ar-Razzaq, the ultimate provider. But what is it about this specific chapter? Why did Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, link this exact sequence of verses to the absolute eradication of poverty? To understand this, we must look at what Surah Al-Waqiah actually does to the human heart. When you open this chapter, it does not begin by talking about money. It does not give you business advice. It begins with the end of the world. It begins by declaring the inevitable reality. The earth will be shaken with a violent, terrifying convulsion. And the mountains, those massive towering peaks of solid granite that men look at as symbols of permanence, will be crushed. They will be pulverized into scattered dust, floating in the air like the tiny specks you see caught in a beam of sunlight. Right from the very first verses, Allah is performing open-heart surgery on your attachments. You think your job is permanent? You think your savings account is a solid mountain? The Creator is telling you that the actual mountains will become dust. If the bedrock of the earth cannot survive, how can you place your absolute trust in a fragile human economy? Then, the surah divides all of humanity into three distinct groups. The foremost, the companions of the right, and the companions of the left. It vividly describes the agonizing regret of those who lived only for the material world, those who sinned while surrounded by luxury, completely arrogant, believing they would never be held to account. It paints the ultimate picture of failure. Not the failure of going bankrupt in business, but the horrifying bankruptcy of the soul on the day of judgment. But the true shift in your perception of wealth happens in the middle of the surah. Here, Allah stops talking about the day of judgment and suddenly turns his divine gaze directly toward you right now in your daily life. He asks questions that strip away every illusion of control you have ever possessed. Have you considered the seed you plant in the earth? Is it you who makes it grow, or is it we who are the grower? Have you considered the water that you drink? Is it you who brought it down from the clouds, or is it we who bring it down? Have you considered the fire that you ignite? Is it you who produced its tree, or is it we who produced it? Listen to the rhythm of these questions. Feel the weight of them. When you drink a glass of water, you assume you earned it because you paid the water bill. When you eat a piece of bread, you assume it is yours because you worked the hours to buy the flour. Surah Al-Waqiah steps in and completely dismantles that arrogance. You merely placed the seed in the dirt. You did not command the cells to divide. You did not order the rain to fall. You did not orchestrate the complex biology that turns dirt and water into sustenance. Ar-Razzaq did. When a person recites this every single night, for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years, a profound psychological transformation occurs. The disease of poverty is cured. Because what is poverty? Real poverty is not a lack of paper money in your pocket. Real poverty is the terrifying feeling of being disconnected from the source. It is the panic that wakes you up at 3 in the morning, making you wonder how you will survive if you lose your job. It is the crushing anxiety that you are entirely alone in providing for yourself. But when you read Surah Al-Waqiah, when you truly let it wash over your soul, you realize you are never the provider. You were never the one keeping yourself alive. The same God who pulls the fresh water from the salty ocean and drops it from the sky is the God who manages your career. The same Lord who commands the dry, dead earth to burst forth with green life is the Lord who can open doors of provision for you from places you could never possibly imagine. Imagine living with that certainty. Imagine waking up every day for 30 years, stepping into the world, going to your job, working hard, but having absolutely zero fear in your heart. You work, but you do not worship the work. You collect a paycheck, but you know the company is not your sustainer. Your heart is firmly tied to the heavens, while your hands are busy on the earth. This is why Abdullah ibn Masud smiled at the gold. He knew the gold was just a creation. He wanted his daughters to be connected to the creator of the gold. And then, the surah brings you to the ultimate humbling reality. It describes the moment of death, when the soul reaches the throat, when the doctors step back, when the family is weeping around the bed. Allah says, "We are closer to him than you, but you do not see." In that precise moment, Waqi'Ah, what good is your wealth? What good is the empire you built? If you cannot even command your own soul to stay inside your chest for one more second, how can you claim sovereignty over anything? This is the secret of the nightly recitation. It breaks your reliance on the material world. It forces you to surrender. And in that absolute surrender, you find the greatest freedom a human being can ever experience. You become untouchable by the anxieties of the modern world. You stop acting like a frantic orphan trying to survive in a chaotic universe, and you start walking with the quiet dignity of a servant whose master owns the heavens and the earth. Look around you today. People are exhausted. They are running on treadmills of consumption, buying things they do not need to impress people they do not even like, terrified that they will not have enough. They are drowning in the illusion of control. The water is rising around them, and they are clutching onto sand. But the one who holds on to the truth of Ar-Razzaq, the one who internalizes Surah Al-Waqiah, stands on solid rock. Do not wait for a crisis to understand this. Do not wait until the soul is at the throat to realize who was actually feeding you all along. Take this practice. Make it your nightly companion. Let the words reshape your understanding of reality. Let it kill the fear of poverty in your heart so thoroughly that even if you were stripped of everything tomorrow, you would still smile, knowing your provider is still there. As we come to the end of this journey today, I want to remind you to please subscribe to our completely free channel. By subscribing, you ensure that these stories of light and absolute certainty continue to reach hearts that are desperately in need of peace. May Allah, the ultimate provider, expand your sustenance, purify your wealth, and place such a deep, unshakable certainty in your hearts that you never fear anyone or anything besides Him. May He bless your homes with the peace of those who truly rely on Him, and may He gather us all under His infinite mercy. Peace be upon you, and until we meet again, entrust your souls to the One who never sleeps.